Hey guys, so this week I wanted to do a tutorial on Icarus by Bastille because it's got a really cool rhythm to it and I think the strumming patterns just fit that rhythm really well. So if we zoom in now, I'll start showing you guys the chords. Okay, so the four chords you're going to need are E minor, C major, G major, and D major. Okay, so for the strumming pattern, it's going to vary throughout the song because there are 5 sections. There's an intro, a verse, a pre-chorus, a chorus, and a bridge at the end. So I'll just start with the first section. So for the intro, chord progression is going to go 4 beats on the E minor, then 2 on the C, and 2 on the D. For the strumming pattern, it's basically, I guess you could call it 4 quarter notes for each beat, because you can go down, up, choke, up. And instead of just having them like one right after each other, like really straightforward, you're actually going to make the up stroke and the choke come one right after each other really quickly. So instead of just going like, well, it'll sound better, but instead of just going like that, you'll actually make it sound like. So you're almost choking right as you're finishing the up stroke. So basically you're going to do that 4 times on the E minor, 2 on the C, and 2 more on the D. And then the intro is just that whole progression twice. And for the verse, the strumming pattern is going to be the same as the intro, except your chord progression is a little bit different because you're going to have 4 beats on the C, and 4 on the E minor, and then, 2 on the E minor, and then 2 on the D. So same strumming pattern. And if it's hard for you to like choke and play the next stroke, it makes it a lot easier if you don't play with the pick. I just prefer to play with the pick, so you can always just do, because then you can choke with your whole palm or with the side of the hand or whatever's easier for you. And now for the pre-chorus, you're going to add in the G here. So it's going to be a really simple strumming pattern also. You're going to have C for 2 beats, then E minor for 2, then G for 2, and D for 2. And you're just going to strum once on the first beat of each chord, so it's pretty straightforward. Moving on to the chorus. The chord progression is going to almost be the same as the pre-chorus, except the first 2 chords are switched. So you're going to have E minor for 2, then C for 2, then G for 2 beats, and D for 2 beats. And the strumming pattern for the chorus, it's easier than the intro and the verse, because you're basically just doing 4 down strokes per beat, so 8 per chord. So there's a couple different ways you can play this. You could theoretically just do 8 strokes, just really simple. And then continuing on. But I think it fits better with the rhythm of the song if you accent the first stroke, the 4th stroke, and the 7th stroke. So you're going to have like sections of 3, 3, and then 2 strokes. So you can make it go. And then with the other chords, of course. And then also, you don't really have to do this, but I like to do some muting in between those 3 sections of strokes. So after the first three, you would lift your fingers off of the string slightly, and then press them back down for the next 3. Then you do the same thing in between the 6th and the 7th stroke. So it would sound like. And then obviously this is just, if you want to, you could just stick with the 8 strokes because it makes it a lot easier. So yeah, it's just 8 strokes per each chord for, I think, 4 lines of the chorus, or 2 lines of the chorus. Lastly, we have a small bridge at the very end. Chord progression is going to be 4 beats on the C, 2 beats on the D, 2 beats on the E minor, 2 beats on the G, 2 more beats on the C, and then 4 beats on the D. And then the strumming for this is basically the same as the strumming for the chorus, except instead of strumming the whole, like all of the strings for your chord, you're just going to be strumming the 3 lowest strings, so the 3 closest to you. So for example, for the C that would be 5, 4, and 3, and then for the D it would be 4, 3, and 2, and then so on. For the E minor it would be 6, 5, 4, and then same for the G, 6, 5, 4. So you're just going to have, because it's a really quiet part of the song, so you're just going to have some quiet strumming, I guess you could call it. So, 1. And then so on throughout the whole progression. So if you want to hear the whole song, how it goes together, it's going to sound like this. So yeah, that's all you need to know for this song. So good luck with that, and I'll see you guys next time.